David Stark from Watch or Pass.
How you doing, David?
I'm doing
Hi,
well.
David.
Hi, thank you so much for joining me. I know this has been a whirlwind day for you all, so hopefully you're not too tired.
Definitely not.
So I wanted to start off with some questions from my kids. I want to make sure that they get their questions answered. They're a little silly, but they might be a little insightful.
What is it like to film with a ghost?
I mean,
That's actually
it's a great
really
question.
amazing question.
That's amazing. That's our best question
Filming with
today.
filming with a ghost is pretty incredible. Definitely, it's nothing that I've experienced in my personal life. So coming on set and not really knowing what to expect every day is very fun. And then also following the mystery and seeing all these clues and kind of playing a detective is really, really a fun opportunity for us.
Well, yeah, I definitely have to piggyback off of what Hannah said. It was really different filming with a ghost, like, because you never know what's gonna happen, and as we're filming, everything's always a mystery, and I find that really cool. So
Awesome, thank you.
How did the dragon get in the closet?
These are amazing questions.
kids is so adorable. The dragon was actually amazing. You don't actually see the dragon. The dragon is actually not there. We actually have a 3D model of it, so we know where to look. But the dragon ended up in the closet because he's very smart and he knew where to go.
I think those episodes are really different from the ones that we've previously seen, because instead of the characters coming out of the book, the characters are actually being drawn by Ruben, and those are coming to life. And so that kind of brings another element of mystery to the story, because our characters are not quite used to seeing these kind of painted characters in a sense. So it's kind of another layer that they need to try to solve, and it's really interesting to watch.
And it must have been a change, this season, because last season, only you could see the characters except for a few, and this time now everyone has to see them. So I guess maybe it was an adjustment for everyone. That's that's helping out in the story.
Totally. I mean,
That's true.
Before, our characters, it was kind of much easier to keep the secret because no one could see the characters, and they kind of just had to cover up their tracks a little bit. But now they have to be super cautious because we really don't want to get caught. And it's hard to believe that these characters are coming to life, but they kind of have to accept it and really, really make sure that they're careful.
Yeah.
With these characters, it's really fun to like film with, because like Hannah said, they're being drawn by Ruben himself and they're coming to life. So now that we have that scare of now people can actually see these mysterious characters, then now we gotta be like on the down low. We gotta keep them like to the side, make sure no one sees them, and it's really fun.
Yeah, and there were definitely some fun and stressful scenarios in the first few episodes, because it's not just fantasy characters. There were some real life characters too that you had to juggle to kind of keep the mystery alive and make sure that no one found out about Ghostwriter. So,
If you could paint a pet, what would it be?
Sorry, I didn't hear the question.
She said, if you could paint a pet, what would it be? She really likes the dragon.
I'm glad. I mean, I feel like having a dragon by my side would be pretty cool. So maybe I would choose a dragon as well, because they can protect you, and I feel like they're also kind of cute in a sense and can be fun to play with. Yeah.
Most definitely. I've actually never thought about that. That's a very adorable question by a kid. But if I was to paint my own animal, it would probably be a cheetah, to be honest. Growing up, I always loved cheetahs. I always loved how like fast they were. they would prey on other animals, and I always thought it was cool. I wouldn't use it for that reason, but I definitely use it on the basketball court. Make the defenders run away from my animal.
Very
Going for the
smart.
easy basket.
And you got to train with with someone faster than you. You can't really get faster than a cheetah, so it would make you much faster.
That's true. Yes, most definitely.
Is it fun to solve mysteries with your friends?
It's
Of
so
course.
fun. You have no idea. You should probably try it out with your friends one day. But it's definitely fun, especially with amazing people like those three, our gang. They are all amazing. We all have our own different weaknesses. We all have our different strengths. And when we put all that together, it works out. And you'll see in later episodes that, and actually you saw it in the Frankenstein arc, when we lose a piece of us, we always got to make it come back. And when we do, everything's perfectly fine.
Yeah. I mean, these characters, the interesting thing is that they really weren't very close at the beginning of the series. And they didn't start out as friends, but through the mystery, through the ghost, they became so close. So I think, they're very lucky because the mystery really, I mean, our characters gained 3 new friends, and that's always great.
Yeah, it's an important lesson. You never know where your good friends are going to come from. So just kind of treat everyone nicely and kind of, look
sure.
for the best in people.
It's true.
Mhm.
Why was the ghost invisible?
Well,
These are great questions.
I try.
You got some intelligent kids. Some intelligent kids. But the ghost is invisible because how would we know where all these clues are coming from? If we know who the ghost is and we know, all right, we see the ghost, she's gonna put a clue there, then it's not really a mystery. And I think that's what's so cool about the ghost, because the ghost puts it places where they feel like we'll go, but we don't know where we'll find those clues. And when we do, it's an amazing mystery, and I hope you enjoy it.
Yeah, it totally adds an element of surprise when we can't see the ghost, but and I think, like, for viewers at home, it also adds to the mystery, just because you really have no idea what's going to come next, and there's so many twists and turns that you're not able to predict, and it makes it, I think, so much more entertaining that you really don't know what's going to happen next.
All right, one more from the kids, and then I'll jump in.
What's your favorite book?
Say it again.
What's your favorite book?
Oh. Okay, so I'll give you both. I'll give you in the show and outside the show. My favorite book outside the show, growing up, was always Diary of a Wimpy Kid. I loved every single one of them, especially the movies. Loved those. But inside the show, I love Trinity. I love how they had the levitating bikes, and you would think it would be like an old western, but it's really like future like. And I love how the characters are played and how they're portrayed. And that's definitely one of my favorites.
I feel like I have 2 favorite books. One of my favorites is actually a series. I read it when I was very, very young, which was the Geronimo Stilton series. I don't know. I've always loved them. They're obviously geared to a younger age group, but they also have that element of surprise in them, and you never really know what's gonna happen next. And I found it super engaging and fun to read them. And then something that I've read more recently that I really liked was called A Fault in Our Stars, which is actually a movie. And it's just a really touching story, and you kind of get to know how these characters they're fighting for their lives. They don't have a lot of time, and so they're really embracing every last moment, and they're always trying to see the positives in every situation, and that's a great lesson.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for those answers. I loved the original Ghostwriter when I was a kid. It was one of my favorite shows. It might have been my favorite show when I was growing up. It was just, it was such a nice imaginative world, and it had such good lessons. I think and a lot of that comes through in this new series. Did you all watch the original Ghostwriter at some point, or maybe when preparing for this?
Me personally, that show was made and released way before I was even born. Wasn't even thought of probably. But I did watch a couple like cool clips of like the intro and like whatever they had on YouTube. And it actually like opened my mind to like how like it was like back when they made that and how it is now the way that we make it now. And being able to have the diversity that we have in both is definitely amazing.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up the diversity, because that was, I was going to see if it came up. That was one of the things that really struck me for a show at that time. It was just such a good diverse show, and also it didn't shy away from confronting some issues that I think maybe was not normal for a show at that time. And I feel like this show is doing the same thing. It's kind of picking up where that left off with some very smart changes to how the ghosts in the world works. So I don't fault you for not watching it, because I'm sure it's very old, and it. I was
I
trying
don't
to
even
think.
know where to find it.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you either. I just have my memories, which are all good, and now I've got new ones. So, Hannah, you and Justin play siblings in the show. Is it tough to get into the character, or do you just kind of naturally kind of fit as siblings? You kind of just get along well, and also fight a little bit.
I mean, we spent so much time together on set that I think our dynamic was actually quite similar to a dynamic of siblings. Not that we would argue or fight or anything, but just that we know each other so well. We kind of lean on each other when we need help. We support each other, and I think that really helped bring that kind of bond with Donna and Curtis, and made it a bit more natural. It really wasn't hard to act as the sister of Curtis or Justin, because we already kind of had this similar dynamic. There wasn't really much that we had to do to portray siblings. So, yeah.
Well, like I totally agree. Me and Hannah actually, I don't know if you knew, we are both an older sibling and also a younger sibling. So growing up with that factor actually was cool because we brought it into the show itself. And even the first day that me and Hannah met, we went in, we got introduced to what was going on, had a rehearsal. Right after that at lunchtime, all four of us we just all clicked. And the fact that we were able to click that fast and have like that dynamic factor of being together for 9 months, it actually played like a huge part in the show as siblings because we were close like that. So it wasn't really hard to play siblings.
Awesome. Sounds like it was kind of an instant bond. I imagine it was the same with the rest of your castmates. Did you all do any like fun activities to kind of get either initially to get that camaraderie, or in this when you started filming the second season to kind of rekindle that?
We did a lot of outings. We filmed in Toronto for the 9 months, and I'm from Toronto, but the three other kids are not from Toronto; they're from the States. So we did a lot of things. We went to Canada's Wonderland for a day. It was really great to kind of spend some time with each other, not on set. It creates, I think, a little bit of a different energy because you're not trying to be, super professional all the time, and like, you can kind of let a little bit more loose. And I definitely got to know the other three kids a lot that day.
Yeah.
Yeah, most definitely. Also, it was pretty cool because Hannah actually lives there. So she was staying in her own residence that she's lived in for her life, and we were all in like this like cool condo like right above each other. But what was cool was that Hannah would actually make the trip down to where we were and hang out with us. Like for example, her and Amadi went to go see a play, and then they came back, had like a little sleepover. We all like hung out a little bit and like talked, and then there was a couple times where we had we just had fun. Like we would play music, like have people over that we knew from meeting out there, and we would just have a great time and talk and enjoy the city. Because I'm gonna be honest, living in New York, it's an amazing city. Toronto blew my mind because it was also really, really, really cool. So being able to adventure out with our building being right next to the CN Tower, just going to adventure out and enjoy the scenery with everyone was just really nice.
That's awesome. That's really great that you also get to experience things and grow as a person and actor too. So my time is up. As a parent and a fan of the original show and a fan of your show, thank you so much for all that you do for this show. It's been a lot of fun with the kids. It's a really great kind of teaching method to get them some lessons on friends and diversity and problem solving and literacy. So it's been a fantastic kind of surprise. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, David.
Thank you.
Have a
Take
good
care.
one.
You too.